Oscar, you're gay.
Wow.
Andy, Cornell call. They think you suck. And you're gayer than Oscar. Boom, roasted.
Boom, roasted.
Okay, so I just watched the Roast of Kevin Hart, and it was pretty bad. These usually get worse every year, but this one was particularly bad. The comedians really sucked. It was like half empty for some reason, and the celebrities that did show up were really underwhelming, which is surprising because it's Kevin Hart, you know? I thought for sure they would have gone all out for him, but no, I guess. I mean, Ice Cube didn't even go, and The Rock only made a short appearance at the end. The whole thing was ultimately really embarrassing. Like, even Kanye went, but knew to stay in the back. And it all felt so lazily thrown together. Like, this didn't feel like the roast of Kevin Hart. It felt like Netflix had Kevin under contract, had to do something with him, and threw this together in a weekend. It all felt so cheap. Like, for example, Shane Gillis hosted, and can we stop pretending like Shane is likable or funny? How much longer is left on this guy's contract? Why did he host? How is he connected to Kevin? This is what I mean by this whole thing felt really sloppily thrown together. Because they obviously just got someone they thought would get them a lot of internet traction, and used his racism to promote the show. I saw a lot of people getting mad about Shane, Tony, and Big J's sets, saying that they were overly racist and had no jokes, and those people are correct. Like I said, this roast was really bad. It had no jokes whatsoever, and surely no viral-worthy clips like last year. And Netflix knew that. That's why they got these frauds to do the show, because they knew they would be racist, and all that racism would draw backlash, and people would continue talking about the Kevin Hart roast. Remember, bad publicity is good publicity. Shane even admitted they told him to be racist.
Yeah, they told me to be racist. I don't...
Like, come on now, Netflix, you knew what you guys were doing. By the way, Shane's hypocrisy was on full blast that night. He was bragging about not going to the Riyadh Comedy Festival again, and he always makes it seem like, no, I'm an American, that's why I didn't go. Not because alcohol is severely illegal and Shane has a drinking problem, no. It's because Shane has standards and morals all of a sudden. And if a country that's complicit in terrorist attacks invites him to do comedy, he's not gonna go. But if an American company asks him to be racist against black people for money, he's your guy, he'll even host. The hypocrisy was the worst part, I thought. I also didn't like his joke about Cheryl Underwood's husband. I know the dogs are going to point to that podcast she did with Shane as an excuse for Shane's behavior, but you gotta understand, Cheryl Underwood is a nobody. She needs the exposure. Of course she's going to be a punching bag and then suck Shane's dick. She needs to move tickets. But that's besides the point. I didn't like that joke, one, because, come on, it's in such bad taste. And two, it plays into Shane's bully character. Shane likes to act like a bully, but crawls back in his shell anytime someone pushes back, like the coward he is. And this is a perfect example, because to Shane, nothing is off limits. So if he wants to call Cheryl on her personal phone and make fun of her dead husband and then tell those same jokes in front of millions, that's perfectly fine. But if somebody wants to make fun of Shane's retarded fucking family, oh, we can't do that. We're not allowed to point out that Shane's family is riddled with Down syndrome dummies. And he kind of looks like one too. That's not okay to say. Shane's even talked about it. Anytime someone even thinks about making fun of retards, Shane gets defensive and starts crying because his family is full of them.
Hey,
Beast,
dude.
Yeah.
Bro, that show was the wildest thing. They put a guy with Down syndrome at the star of a show.
Oh, yeah. Quite a noggin.
He's not, he's very high functioning.
He's
Oh,
still
really?
the
Yeah,
that's how
totally.
powerful.
Of
Of,
That's
like,
the thing.
Down
Whatever.
syndrome
I don't want
actor.
to get. I don't want to
Well,
get
Billy
going.
Elliott's in.
No. I'm saying.
You're saying on the record
There's
he's
just a
faking?
thing with whatever.
Yeah.
People with Down syndrome can have significantly. They have regular IQs a
Well, you
lot of
know-
the time.
Oh, but blacks, Asians, Mexicans, all those are fair game because they're not a part of Shane's family. But retards and racists, you stay away from them. The hypocrisy was the worst part. But yeah, Shane hosted for some reason and he sucked. I actually like when the industry uses Shane because they too fell for the hype and they think Shane is this internet messiah, but he just sucks, which is hilarious, you know? Because these companies spend a lot of money on him and he never delivers. And I think this is beneficial because it shows people how bad Shane actually is. On the internet, you can't really escape all the Shane glazing. Podcast audiences are convinced he's edgy and hilarious. Meanwhile, he's just a cheap Nick Mullen ripoff. But mainstream audiences are just never impressed. And this actually does more harm to the podcast community than good. So I love it. Like, just put Shane in the most mainstream settings ever and watch him fail like he always does. Not so funny when there's actual funny people around, huh, Shane? And that's another thing. This roast really exposed podcast comedians for the frauds that they are. Shane's main roast set was so bad, so terrible, because he's not funny. But not only that, so many non-podcast comedians were way funnier that the juxtaposition of their sets really showed how bad these guys are. Like Shane, for example, the whole night was just explaining his jokes, because that's what all the greats do, obviously. Or he would just straight up bomb and try to nervously laugh it off.
Formula? That was the best one. We were like, yo.
Oh, dude, this is so crazy. Like, I didn't even catch this the first time. I'm going back and watching the roast while I'm editing this, and I just realized somebody booed Shane Gillis, dude. That's so awesome. And they booed him after he did a little racist voice, dude. That's so great. That's awesome.
Here we go now, Draymond. That's pretty good. Fuck. All right. The next guy is Big J Oakerson.
But I'm not here to make any excuses for Shane. No. Shane already made excuses for himself.
In LA. Because it's gonna be live, and I'm gonna say some pretty offensive things, and then I'm gonna have to stay in the pocket of being like, I know the people at home like this,
Yes.
but now an entire room of famous people don't like me.
I
know.
And that's a classic thing that these hack frauds do to defend their terrible comedy, is they go, the crowd's not gonna like it, but I know the dogs at home will, which is a terrible excuse, but these guys don't care because they're cowards. Like, I promise you, Shane, it's not some grand conspiracy against you, you just suck. I watched at home, I didn't laugh. And it's not because I'm politically correct, it's because you're just not funny. And what kind of excuse is that? I'm doing this for my audience? Well, could you at least try? Didn't these guys pay you? Aren't you supposed to be a professional? Like, I know you clowns all share the same brain-dead audience, but this is pretty big. It's on Netflix, and it's Kevin Hart. This is sure to draw all sorts of crowds from all walks of life. Could you at least pretend to be a comedian and try to write jokes for them? No? The same racist jokes as always? Okay, well, you tried. This is a thing that happens with a lot of older comedians, is that they finally hit it big, but instead of developing their comedy or humor, they just double down on whatever made them popular in the first place, and they do that every night because they know it'll work. It's what they call in the business a hack. And for Shane and these podcast comedians, the hack is just racism. And it really is just an excuse to be racist. Like, for example, Tony defended himself by saying everyone else lied about him, but he told the truth, that those people are in fact black.
And I got called a Nazi, gay, a racist over and over again. I'm none of those three things, a little fun fact. But they are they are fat, ugly, black, and Jewish. Everything I said was real about them, just a reminder.
And Tony is so racist, he doesn't even see why that's racist. He equated the insults against him to his insults, to where if people call him a racist or a Nazi, they're lying, but they are black. So in Tony's mind, he thinks being black is bad. It's an insult. It's a bad thing to be. Dude, it's so funny how obviously racist these guys are. I mentioned earlier Shane is just a cheap Nick Mullen ripoff, and it's true. Shane is just copying these guys, Dan Soder and Nick Mullen, but every so often, and it's becoming more and more obvious, the real Shane pops out every now and then. The real white supremacist Shane peeps out through the Nick Mullen impression, and then he goes, "No, I'm just kidding." That's the biggest difference between Nick Mullen and Shane, is that Nick's racism is so ridiculous that it becomes hilarious. Like, he'll do African Shark Tank, or he'll do a really way too good Chinese accent or something, but whatever it is, it's always so ridiculous that it surpasses racism and just becomes a joke. Whereas Shane is just racist, and when he gets caught, he goes, "Dude, we're guys, we're just joking, that's what we do." Well, could you do it a little better? Because you kind of suck at it. But I don't want to make this video all about Shane. I am working on a full comprehensive analysis of Shane Gillis though, so look out for that video. I would love to keep making more fun of him, but someone even more pathetic was even more embarrassing that night. And that really is who this video is about. The big fat J Oakerson. Okay, so going into this, I knew Big J sucked. I've seen some of the crowd work he tries to pass off his stand-up. I've listened to a little bit of Skanks, and I know he has that failing radio show on that failing radio station. But I didn't know he was this pathetic. It was actually pretty sad. I almost didn't make this video, but hey. So this is going to be like two parts. Big J on the roast, and Big J's response to the criticism. Because his bad jokes weren't enough. Now he has to explain why we're in the wrong. What a guy this guy is. Okay, so Big J has it in his mind that him and Kevin are friends. You're not friends, Big J, I promise you. You did one open mic together, stop acting like you know him. That's so embarrassing. Big J is already this guy who's like enamored by black culture to the point of delusion. He thinks he can hang with them, and even worse, he thinks they accept him. It's really embarrassing. And the guy's like 50 too. It's like, come on, man. But even more embarrassing is the way Big J treats Kevin and how little Kevin reciprocates. Get it? Little Kevin? Okay, Big J here really acts like a girlfriend. He so shamelessly uses Kevin Hart and his fame to climb the social ladder, or at the very least humble brag, and it's so transparent. Like at a point, he talks about texting Kevin so that you, the audience, know that this isn't just Big J Oakerson. No. He has Kevin Hart's number. Whoa. And he called him Kev the whole time to make it seem like they were closer than they actually were. Like, Jesus, dude, it's so embarrassing. And Kevin had to overlaugh at his set so that he wouldn't get his feelings hurt, because Kevin Hart is actually a nice guy. He takes other people's feelings into account. If Kevin revealed the truth and admitted he doesn't know this guy, Big J would start crying. So instead, Kevin just laughs and pretends like it's all okay. And believe me, that's exactly what Kevin is doing, because there's nothing to laugh about. Jeff Ross did good, even Kill Tony did okay. Which reminds me, I'm almost done with the Kill Tony video, so keep an eye out for that. But Big J's set was for sure the most alienating for the audience. Not only was it not funny, but half the jokes were for the podcast audience. And it's like I said before, I know all you clowns have to pander to your audience, but there's an actual audience in front of you with lives and thoughts. Why are you doing insider comedy on such a mainstream stage? It's because these guys are hacks, man, I'm telling you. Oh god, I rewatched Big J's set for this and it's so bad. At a point, he takes out a piece of paper and he starts reading random words from it. The audience laughs on cadence alone and because they sound like jokes, but it's something closer to a hostage situation, where this weird, lonely goth man is holding you hostage while he plays with Kevin Hart's career. Seriously, this guy was acting like the wife. The same way your wife waves her credit card around, Big J was doing that with Kevin and his career. Oh yeah, me and Kev are close. We started at the same time, so if I wanted to, I could be famous too, you know? Did I mention I have his number? What about the time he just gave me money? Are you guys jealous yet? This was really sad to see in such a brutal display of a D-list celebrity at the end of their career. Like they're old now, they have nothing to show for it. Oh, but who's the show about? Kevin Hart? Okay, time to overcompensate for my lackluster career by letting this room know how tight me and the birthday boy are. It's so embarrassing. You can only find one picture of Big J and Kevin Hart together, by the way, and it's from 2018. Oh, but they've been friends forever. Remember that. According to Big J, they've been friends for a long time. It's a very one-sided friendship, and the fact that Big J can't see that or chooses not to is really sad and pathetic, and I think he needs some help. But going back to the hypocrisy, Big J also responded to the drama because of course he did. Because it's podcast comedian 101 to say something racist and then go, oh, I was just kidding. Which is exactly what happened this time. Except now the white boys are going full mask off. Like, they really don't care anymore. So someone called Tony a Nazi, which objectively he makes it really hard to argue against, but they showed a picture of Big J, so Big J of course got offended because he has nothing better to do. Seriously, this guy has nothing better to do. He still pretends him and Kevin are friends. He has no life. But Big J got mad and pulled out the Jewish card. Just like Gillis with his retards, anytime anyone criticizes Big J, he goes, you can't do that, I'm Jewish, which is what happened here.
Lewis will get into it, but it's the same. They're not the word Nazi means something. Exactly. It's like, and it's probably not Jewish people, yet again, fucking dumb DL Hughley.
DL Hughley showed that picture of Big J and said the word Nazi, and Big J got offended because he's actually this and blah 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 blah. Isn't it funny how these podcast frauds try to be so edgy, despite the fact that they're like 50, and then get so easily offended by anything? Fucking snowflakes. Anyway, Big J used his best defense. He reminded us that he's Jewish, but he didn't have to because I never forgot. Hashtag never forget. Anytime Big J tries to use his religion as a shield, I always think back to the Skank Court on Legion of Skanks. If you don't know, Legion of Skanks is a live podcast Big J does with Luis Gomez. They do it at a comedy club, they charge tickets, do live ads in front of the audience, turn their backs to the audience the whole time, and then on top of that, monetize the podcast online. So they make pretty good money from it. Don't believe me? Luis Gomez takes the podcast employees on a company trip every year. So these guys are rolling in dough, they're swimming in it. Keep that in mind. And one day the club had enough. The club didn't even ask them to share profits. The club didn't ask for handouts. No, what happened was that the show was abusing their free drink/food privileges, and the club asked them to pay. And these millionaires cringed at the idea of having to pay their fair share. This by itself is not what's funny. What's funny is Big J's reaction to the bill. On screen, they put a bill for all the drinks they had that night, not even since the show started, just that night. And the look on Big J's face when he sees he might have to spend money is priceless.
That's tonight's bar tab already.
What, tonight?
263.
Jesus Christ.
What?
We're at 263.
Before the show even started?
The show hasn't started.
I got 3 shots and a Truly.
And these guys have a $300.
This guy gets so defensive about being charged for the stuff he took that he starts making excuses. At a point, he's drinking a Truly, and at a point, he tries to give it back. Mind you, it was already open and he drank from it. But now that the club wants to charge him money for it, he starts freaking out.
You're prosecuting,
What
right?
does 3 shots and a Truly cost?
3 shots of what?
Tequila.
Sometimes a pregnancy.
What tequila, though, is it?
So he knows.
A pregnancy.
Huh?
$75. Way more.
Wow, no stereotypes were heard in the making of that video. That's so funny. Now we know what the J in Big J stands for. This guy's a big J. It's more of that hypocrisy again, that nasty, terrible hypocrisy. Just a couple of hungry hypocrites over here. I'd like to say I can't believe these guys don't see it, but knowing who they are, it makes sense. I'm telling you, as much as Dan Soder and Nick Mullen molded Shane's persona, the real white supremacist Shane pops out every now and then. And this allows him to not feel bad about joking about black people, because they're just black and he's white. That supremacy is also shared by Big J, as you saw, and you can see in the world today. Mainly in Israel, with how all the American and European Jews that live there feel superior to the Palestinians. Big J also feels superior for being Jewish, or at the very least, untouchable, to where it's okay for him to say whatever he wants because he's better. Oh, but you can't say anything about him because he's Jewish and that's anti-Semitic. But still, it's sad that Big J has so little in his life and his career is so lackluster that this is what he's reduced to in a room of actual celebrities. Not funny, completely out of touch, racist, and a social ladder climber. So a lot of the criticism that Big J is responding to is coming from this guy DL Hughley, who called Big J, Tony, and Shane racist, and he has a point, they are racist. But Big J is so fat and stupid and dumb and ugly that instead of responding to the criticism rationally, he just becomes more racist.
You're showing a picture of me in this thing. I saw this lineup and I thought to myself, I don't know anything is what you thought to yourself, because I've known Kev since we started together is why I was on the roast. Yeah. Not to go give Nazi propaganda, you fucking jerk off.
Yeah, get it. And this is what I mean about these podcast comedians going full mask off and not being afraid to be racist anymore, like Big J does here. He tries to mock DL Hughley by showing clips of him doing voices and going, see, you do it too, so I should be allowed to be racist.
You're a fucking boob, DL Hughley, because you have a history, idiot.
Almost like everything he said he didn't do, we have proof of
that's
him
what this
doing.
is.
The wife will get a job a 2-week notice when they quit. I'm quitting in exactly 2 weeks. I've got a better career opportunity. Ain't no Chinese people live here.
Whoa.
That was me going, he no here.
Oh,
He moved away, he no here no more.
What the fuck is happening?
But Big J is so fat and dumb and racist that he doesn't see the difference. The difference is that when DL Hughley does these voices, he's not making fun of the people. He is still the butt of the joke. Like when he does his Chinese accent, he's not making fun of Chinese people. In the joke, he's hiding and he does a bad Chinese accent to try and not get caught.
Ain't no Chinese people live here.
Whoa.
That was me going, he no here.
Oh.
It's the same as a guy doing a girl voice behind a door and going, who is it? You see, when you do that, you're not making fun of women, but Big J is so stupid and racist that he thinks this is basically a free pass to be racist, and he gladly takes it.
I saw this group. You saw this group in what? You fucking pontificating asshole. I'm tired of watching black guys in fucking Django hats fucking tell me how the world works now. And again, fucking dumb DL Hughley. I saw this lineup and I thought to myself, I don't know anything is what you thought to yourself, because the world's going behind him. He's got to let you know what he feels about the earth. Yeah. I don't dislike you now, DL Hughley, because you're black. It's because you're black and dumb. Fucking just be like, these white boys. And you know, I see these white boys up there. Get the fuck out of here, these white boys.
It is kind of racist, Jay.
Yeah. I see this black boy sitting back there talking on the podcast all the time.
He mocks DL Hughley in a truly racist accent, and that's the difference. Is that DL Hughley wasn't trying to hurt anyone, but Big J is. It's Shane and Nick Mullen all over again. Nick Mullen is funny, Shane is racist. All these guys are racist. Shane, Tony, Big J, we've known this for years, but now it's becoming a problem because these guys aren't afraid to be openly racist anymore. They seriously believe they have a right to be racist, whether it comes from their audience or something else. They believe they should be allowed to be as racist as they want and expect no repercussions from it. And if you get mad, you're in the wrong. And it's funny to see how painfully unaware these guys are. Like Big J, for example, got mad at Seth Green for ignoring him at the after party, and it's like, dude, did he not see what you did on stage? You said you were surprised Kevin had white friends. Why would you think anyone would want to associate with you?
And he's a longtime celebrity at the Kevin Hart roast. I end up on this thing. Why even Seth Green's at the Kevin Hart roast doesn't really make much sense, quite honestly, I don't think. And then it's just like a celebrity thing. And then we go to the after party, and Seth Green is at the after party. And I go, here I go. And I gave him the, dude, he goes, me and you like went to the same school. At best in the conversation, it was like, oh yeah. Dude. I go, what?
Honestly, I'm now a big Seth Green fan just because he did that to Jay. It's crazy how brainwashed all these podcast comedians are to the point of believing in actual conspiracies. Like they need to stop hanging out with Joe Rogan. It's rotting their minds. Shane said it perfectly. These people really do believe Hollywood is brainwashed or controlled or too politically correct or something. But it's like, no, you're just not funny. There's no conspiracy. The celebrities aren't laughing because their agent told them not to. They're not laughing because you're not funny. The audience laughed, and they laughed at racist jokes. And the other guests had better sets. I'm telling you, this roast in particular really exposed how out of their minds these podcast comedians are. They think they're bigger than they are. They think they're famous. They actually think they're somebody now. It's so pathetic. Not only that, but it's so apparent. These guys can get by hiding online and sharing the same 5 fans, but put them out for the world to see, and you see them for what they really are. A mediocre middle act. Okay, hey, hi, hello. That's the end of the video. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? If you enjoyed, remember to leave a like and subscribe, or don't, you know. You can leave a comment too if you want. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. If you want to support me, I have a Patreon where you can get videos 1 or 2 weeks before YouTube. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.
It's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Just shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.